The campaign, the manifesto launch will happen in August. And tentatively, I can say on or before the mid of August. He asked, why do you launch a campaign without a manifesto? Because already all the major policies that form or constitute the pivots of that manifesto have already been announced by the flag bearer. So the Mahama 24-hour economy, which organized labor say is a game changer and which you have even applauded on this platform, is something that is already out there. The National Women's Development Bank, which is going to empower 1 million women with startup capital and training to be able to create wealth, and to bring the entrepreneurial energies in them, is another thing that has already been announced. And our mother, the running mate, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman, is very passionate about that Women's Development Bank. A bank run by women for women. That is what it is. It means that from the cashier to the teller to the bank manager to the board member to the security personnel to the staff, all of them will be women. And this bank is going to have branches in all parts of the country, and their customers will be only women. No men will be entertained there. That is what it's meant for. And the target is to empower 1 million women. So you have 24-hour economy, you have Women's Bank, you have the big push, $10 billion investment in infrastructure, with $3 billion of that going into ICT, with the aim of creating 300,000 jobs in that digital space. The 1 million coders program, which will train 1 million young people in coding and either IT models, is also already out there. So unlike you, who don't really have any policy, all you're talking about is Mufesti and Emame, when you don't have a license, we have all our major policies out there already. And so we can start the campaign even before the main manifesto is launched. Of course, the manifesto will have more, but I'm saying that we have enough to start the campaign.
Okay. Since he brought me in, but anyways, we'll go into it. One key thing though, for instance, this women initiative I see as an expanded Maslow program, renamed, but that is fine.
No, it's not true.
I mean, and then I think about 2 weeks ago, I was at an ICT program for girls. And what you're talking about is really like also an expanded program for, young women or adult women going into, programming and IT related things. So, I mean, an expanded version of what we have is not a bad thing. It's like recycling an existing program. But be it as it may, I mean, for whatever democracy is worth, we are waiting to hear what you have and show you what is already in existence that you are touting as something new, or to also bring to bear what we have in terms of our vision for beyond December 2024. So kudos to the NDC. I would have really hoped that the manifesto would come with the campaign launch, but that is not my decision to make. That is a party's decision. But based on, at least from a corporate standpoint, it would have made more sense that you equip your young guns or your comrades with appropriate information so that when they go doing Jehovah's Witness work, or shall I say proselyting, or entering people's rooms, whether invasion of people's privacies or whatever it is, and that they go with something. We wanted now. You've been sitting home in opposition for 7 years. I mean, not to highlight movement for change, but I think they have brought their manifesto. So I think that I was expecting Sammy. I was expecting Sanka by now, dear. you outdoor it on. That is what I was really waiting for.
Well, like I indicated, the manifesto is ready, but
It hasn't gone
we
to
have
print.
decided that we will launch it in the middle of August.
Okay.
And that the campaign launch should take place before that. And that we have more than enough policies already announced by the nation builder for this campaign, even ahead of the manifesto launch. But let me also correct you that the National Women's Development Bank is first of its kind. It is nothing like Maslock.
Okay.
Maslock is about micro and small-scale businesses, advancing loans to micro and small-scale businesses.
Largely women.
Yes. But
So an
whether
enhanced
largely
version.
women,
But there's nothing wrong with an enhanced version.
Hold
I
on.
mean-
It's not an enhanced version. Understand something. The National Women's Development Bank is going to be a bank. Maslock is not a bank. That's number one. It is going to
like
be
a microcredit.
No, it's not microcredit.
Oh, I'm saying
not
I'm saying
microcredits.
Maslock is like microcredit.
Yes, and this is not
Yes,
microcredit.
so it's still in the
This is not
financing.
microcredit.
Okay.
You understand? We are advancing
But I
capital
like your security
and
being
training.
I like
hold on.
that part.
No, because we recognize the contributions of women in nation building.
No, I mean, I
and
like
that is
that
why
part.
we have been bold enough to give women their place by appointing for the second time a woman as our running mate. And by the grace of God, when Ghanaians give us the nod, she will become the first female vice president. Look, Ghanaian women are not lazy. They are very industrious. They are very
My mother is
entrepreneurial.
watching.
But the problem, yes, and you know what they did
And
for us
we haven't
growing
said
up.
women are lazy.
And I've not said you've said that. But when you want to belittle an important policy, first of its kind policy, and create an impression that it exists, then I have a problem with you because it doesn't exist. Never in the history
an
of this
enhanced
country
version. There's nothing
have
wrong
we
with it.
come up with a policy
Was
targeted.
free
Hold on,
SHS not there?
Hold on.
It was
Let
there.
me finish. Let me
We've
finish.
come and expanded and made it bigger.
Please.
If you say that, I'll not be faulted.
Anyambo, please cut this tape for me.
Okay.
At least Dr. Dixon today has indicated on Good Morning Ghana that free SHS was there and that they came and made it bigger. But that's the truth. That's the truth. But that truth, you see, truth has fallen from his mouth. That is it. But that truth today has become a very scarce commodity among the MPP.
Ooh.
So when you have some of them
It
confessing
was limited
like
to
this,
the northern
it's important to highlight it.
Yes, I mean,
important to highlight it.
look at health insurance
Yes.
and trace from when it started.
way-
from piloting
Everything.
to
District
Yes.
mutual base to national. Expansion of medicine and ailment list and
Yeah.
all that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
We don't have to argue.
we split hairs over. In fact,
So
stupid
he
things.
should agree that the banking for women
No, this is not
also an
hold on.
enhancement.
You see,
That's all I'm saying.
the only women's bank we have had in this country was an NGO, private owned.
Yeah.
By Esther
Women's
Oklo.
World Banking.
Women's World Banking.
So there's
They
been
started
something
like-
before.
But they had a savings and loans license.
So there's been something before.
Sadly.
So
this-
correct something for me. I
Yes.
think that will settle this.
Yeah.
Is the Women's Bank going to replace Maslock?
No.
Okay.
So there will still be
So
Maslock.
fine. Okay. So just go.
I think that settles the matter.
Yeah.
So there will still be Maslock. Men can
You're a smart
access.
guy. You're a smart guy.
Men can access credits and funding from there.
For Master. Then
Yes.
leave Master
But
for the men.
Women's Bank, no.
In fact, there's an M, so we can make
But
it.
Women's Bank is focusing
Men's
on
law.
just women.
Yeah.
And this time around, it is not just women doing small scale businesses, even those doing large scale businesses
I mean,
will be supported.
yeah.
And this time around, even the students who are creating businesses online, the young girls leaving school who are creating businesses online, those who want training, those who want equipment, all of them will be captured under the Women's Bank
Beautiful.
initiative. So it is sad that you collapsed that private initiative and you have done nothing in the last 8 years to uplift Ghanaian women. And so if today we are giving women their place by not only making one of them the second most important person in our party and in the future NDC government, but we are going ahead to create a special policy targeted at financially empowering 1 million women with cheaper credit, because the problem now is that, yes, in the normal traditional financial system, you can have access to credit, but at what cost? 35% interest rate, 40% interest rate, and above. See, they can't simply afford it. Our mothers, my mother sells egg, and it is egg she sold to take care of my education. She cannot afford that interest rate. You understand? And sometimes even the conditions, the collateral and all that. That is what excludes women, many women, from the financial system.
NBSSI and GA.
NBSSI has been collapsed. Today, you call it another name. You understand? And even that, you're giving it to your party people. The real women, those selling plantain chips,
that one is not true.
Those selling kokwa ayatoto, Kofi Brookman, those baking bread, the hairdressers and all that, they don't get access to those funds.
They do.
You give it to your party people. You understand? So this is it, and I think it is something that we need to applaud. And so don't worry about us. When we say we are launching our campaign and that 2 weeks, 3 weeks after we will launch our manifesto, don't worry about us. Everybody knows what John Mahama stands for.
Okay.
Jobs, jobs, jobs. And that is why we are bringing the 24-hour economy. That is why we are bringing the Women's Development Bank initiative. That is why we are doing the 1 million coders program. That is why we are investing $3 billion in ICT to create 300,000 jobs.
I like the 1 million.
That is why we will be introducing the National Apprenticeship Program for those who are interested in skill development.
People.
That 1 million, the 1 million coders program is for 1 million young men.
Yeah.
The Women's Bank is for 1 million women. The
Everything
National Apprenticeship Program, there is no number on that. As for 24-hour economy, there is no limit.
When we did 1 million, they said it was a slogan.
Effect you're going to have. The positive effect
when
you're
we
going to have.
When we did 1 million,
Doc,
they said it was a slogan.
So that is it. And even in the area of agric, John Mahama has announced some of the most revolutionary policies.
Okay.
He's spoken about the fact that this time around, we are moving away from subsistence farming. We are the days of farming.
So you're going to industrialize farming.
And who will be long gone when John Mahama is sworn in. But we are going to create farm service centers in all the regions. And we've learned from the mistakes we made in the past, where we gave tractors to farmers. And because they were not well versed in the management and maintenance of those vehicles broke down in their farms, and the state lost money as a result of that. This time around, we are creating farm service centers. And in these centers, you are going to have all the modern equipment for farming. The harvesters, the ones for plowing, weeding, all those equipments will be there. Managed by professionals. People who are well versed in the technical management and maintenance of this. So all the fertilizers will be there as well. All the farmers in those enclaves will go to the farm service centers, register, the equipments are brought to their farm, works for them, and then when it's a time for harvesting, same is done. When after harvesting, we send them to the agro-processing zones, which will be established in every region. So agro-processing zones means simply that if you tell an investor...
So this is the revolutionary...
Hold on. Yes, if you tell an investor to go to Akomadan to establish a tomato processing factory, he's thinking about where am I going to get electricity. The land tenure system and the problems of litigation associated with it. Who am I going to buy the land from? Where am I going to get water? How am I going to get a good road to where my factory will be? So President Mahama says, you don't have a problem. We are now going to... Government is going to take a huge tract of land, set it up nicely, bring electricity there, bring water there, provide security there. All you need to do, you come, you take a space.
So
and then you set up your factory.
An so agro, that the farmers, agro hub.
Yes, we are calling it agro processing and industrial zones.
Okay.
We're going to have them in all the regions. We're going to add value to our cashew, which we produce in abundance in the Bono East, the Bono area. We're going to add value to our tomatoes. We are adding value to our maize and all the things we produce.
So you process cashew now?
For import substitution and for exports. So all these revolutionary policies are out there. You just have to pay attention.